And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, my kids have a saying that first is the worst, second is the best, third is the one with the hairy chest. I don't really know what happens to third place, but this is when someone beats someone else and they say, second is better than first. Okay? Well, this is something that doesn't happen in games. My friend Sam, his thing is second is the first loser. I guess I usually am pretty happy to come in second place myself, but in this game, why first? You want to come in second, because second is the winner of this game. Usually, second is the winner of the round, and then second's the winner of the game. You'll see. Hang on, here we go. Here's the board, which goes from positive 16 to negative 12. You'll see that there's a bunch of pawns here placed on the 0 spot in the middle of the table. Each player also has a card placed in front of them to show what color they are. A deck of cards is shuffled. This card goes from positive 5 to negative 4. And so there's different cards in here. And players are going to be shuffling those and dealing cards out to each player. 5 cards to each player. So you're going to look at the 5 cards that you have. And then someone's going to say, 1, 2, 3, go. And when that happens, everyone simultaneously is going to play cards on another player. Now, someone might get 1 card, no cards, all the cards, whatever. So then each player will look. Red goes forward 2 spaces. Then black takes a look. He got a -1 and a -2, so black would go back 3 spaces, -3. And then the blue player here gets a +1 and a -2, so he goes back 1. And that's where we are at this point in the game. You will do this another time, and then a 4th time. On the 5th time, everyone's last card, they must play on themselves and turn it over and do whatever that says. So let's say, for example, this is where everyone ends up by the end of the game. We're going to look at whoever is in second place, whoever's the second closest to the front, and that person is going to score points equal to whatever space they're on. So here's 4. If there were 2 people in the same space, they would both get 4. If the second place was on a negative, they would get negative points. And so that's how the game works. You're going to do this for 5 rounds. At the end of the 5th round, you will total everyone's scores, and whoever has the second highest score is the winner of the game. If you want to play slightly more strategically, you can do the same thing where everyone gets 5 cards. Everyone will, instead of playing cards in whoever they want each time, they'll play it in front of themselves. They'll flip the card over. They'll look at a little white number down here, and starting from the highest and going to the lowest, each player will play their card on another player. So +1, I'm like, I'll move blue +1. And then the blue player's like, okay, I'm 18, and so I'll move myself 2 more. And you can do that, and scoring and everything else is pretty much exactly the same. Now, as you can see, this is a strange game. It really is unusual in how it plays out. Because as you're playing these cards, you want someone to get into the lead, and you want yourself to be second place behind that person, usually. Once you score points, though, then you're sitting there thinking, okay, I'm in second place points-wise. I don't want to come in second place this next round. I don't want to get any points at all. I just want someone else to get points. But I don't want someone to get more points than me and less points in first place. So there's a lot of that. It's kind of like this twist in your head as you're trying to figure out, okay, yes, they're winning because I have the most points. So I need to get them to have more points than me. By the way, if you're playing with only 2 players, you play with a 3rd dummy player to have that second place thing going on. Now, there's 2 games I showed you. There's the random one where everyone puts cards in front of someone else. It's a little messy there as everyone puts cards down. Hopefully everyone puts them down. And since you don't know what cards other players are playing, there's not a whole, I'll wait till everyone else puts their cards down. You just throw a card in front of somebody. That's quick, easy, and hilarious. The other version I like just as much. It's more strategic as you sit there and go, okay, so you move that person, I'll move this person. Now that's going to slow the game down a bit, but I think gamers will have a better time with that version, while people who are new or just looking for a quick, fast, fun, filler type game will enjoy playing cards simultaneously. It's really kind of an intriguing game. It's not one that I think I would want to play all the time, if only because the thinking in my head becomes kind of backwards as you're sitting there going, okay, I'm trying to come in second, but now I'm not trying to come in second. And the more players who play the game, and it can go up to 6, the more chaotic it's going to be. And there's also, when you play with 6 players, there's a chance that you never score, nothing ever happens, because there's only so many rounds. And one player is going to score each round. And again, you can score negative points, which is an unusual thing. And it's interesting as the pieces move back and forth around the board. So I like it. It's odd and unusual. I think it's probably one that you should try before you buy it. Or, if you just think that the concept is interesting, sure, grab it. I found it clever. Like I said, not something I want to do all the time, but you bring it out and be like, yeah, let's turn off the traditional must win at all costs idea that I have. And I still need to win, but I need to do it by being second. Dice Tower Judgment approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!